right, guys, today we're going to be talking about elevator pitches. So we're going to be talking about how to create it and when to use it. So my name is Emily, and like I said, we're going to be talking about elevator pitches. So first, at a high level, what is an elevator pitch? So it is a brief, persuasive speech that is used to spark one's interest in you, your organization, or just about anything you choose. It typically begins with an idea or a goal. For instance, let's say I have a call or phone screening with a potential employer. So here, what is my goal? My goal would be to convince this person that I should be hired for the job. Don't forget to include the persuasive element, because not only are you informing them of this information, but you are convincing them. After you know the goal of your elevator pitch, this is where the content comes in. So in the case of an initial phone screening with a potential employer, here you're going to want to put your relevant work experience. If you're a student, what's your major? What are your interests and strengths, and what are any volunteer positions or organizations that you're a part of? So you're just going to want to quickly highlight any notable or relevant things about yourself. Next, you're going to want to tie these things in with the person that you are trying to convince. So why does this apply to them? So what you're going to be like, here's what I have to offer, this is why you need me at your company, and this is why I'm a good fit. So to review the main parts of an elevator pitch, you're going to want to identify the goal of your elevator pitch. Next, you're going to want to have the first part of the content, which is the introduction, where you're going to talk about yourself. Then you're going to have the second content part, which is why someone should care about and adopt your idea, where did they step in, and what's next. So now that we have a high-level introduction about what an elevator pitch consists of, now we're going to move into why it is important. So I already gave you guys a few examples of why it's useful, but to review, elevator pitches are useful for job interviews, for networking. They're useful when recommending a product or service, especially when trying to get an idea or concept considered. Basically, wherever you're trying to convince someone to implement your idea, your product, or your involvement in something, specifically professionally. It's so important, especially at our age, to have an elevator pitch ready, especially when applying to jobs, internships, and volunteer opportunities, because these things all impact your career after graduation. So being able to sell yourself is vital in career searching and searching for just about anything. You can have amazing achievements and credentials and be a perfect fit for a company or position, but if you can't express that to an employer, it could go unnoticed and it might not even matter. By the end of this training, you will be able to identify the goal of your elevator pitch, and then you will know the content of your elevator pitch. So like we said, that includes the introduction and then the why, or the application. And then you'll be able to apply this content to the person you're trying to convince, and so you're just going to tell them what you're urging them to do and why they should care. Then you'll be able to put all these pieces together and you will have a finished elevator pitch that you'll be able to practice and use in your professional life.
All right, so now that we have a really good idea of what an elevator pitch is and a couple examples of when it might be a good time to use one, how do I, as a person, actually go out in the world and use an elevator pitch right after this training session? It's more than just the answer to tell me about yourself at a job interview. An elevator pitch can really be used in a lot of different areas of your life going forward. And like Emily said, at this age, it's really important to have one. So like I have listed here, elevator pitches can be used for a Twitter bio, your LinkedIn summary section on your profile. You can use them if you're attending job fairs and career expos. You can use them for networking at professional events or even just in your personal life when you're networking. And you can use it as a confidence boost, kind of a mantra. These are the things that I do, and this is what I'm good at, and this is what my goals are. So here are some different do's when you are writing your elevator pitch and when you are giving your elevator pitch. Some of the do's: you want to keep it short and sweet. You don't want to talk too long and bore them. You want to get right to the point, but you need to be persuasive and compelling. You need to make sure that you're really selling yourself and your abilities. You have to make it flexible. You never know when you're going to need your elevator pitch, so you have to be flexible in how you word it. You have to make sure that you can change it for different jobs that you're applying for, maybe a communications position versus a PR position. You have to be able to adapt your experience and how you word things to make sure that it's the best fit for where you're giving the elevator pitch and for the audience that you're giving it to. You have to make sure and mention goals, because while you're mentioning experience, these are the things that I have done, you also want to say what you want going forward. And another very important thing that you need to do is practice. You don't want to be stumbling over your words when you're trying to impress someone. Some don'ts of elevator pitches. Don't talk too fast. You want to make sure that you're understood. Don't ramble, because if you're talking for too long, people won't listen to you anymore. Don't be monotone. Make sure to have a positive attitude and a smile on your face when delivering your elevator pitch, and really sell yourself. That's the whole point of an elevator pitch, is you're selling who you are and what you've done and your experiences. So you got to make sure that you're giving it your best effort and your best smile. Don't restrict yourself to one pitch. Like I said, be flexible. Make sure that you have lots of different versions ready for wherever you might need an elevator pitch. And here's an example of someone that you might know who used an elevator pitch. This is from the movie Legally Blonde, and I'm going to let this video speak for itself.
Hi, my name is Elle Woods, and for my admissions essay, I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer. As president of my sorority, I'm skilled at commanding the attention of a room and discussing very important issues. It has come to my attention that the maintenance staff is switching our toilet paper from Charmin to generic. All those opposed to chafing, please say aye. Aye. I'm able to recall hundreds of important details at the drop of a hat. Hey, Elle, do you know what happened on Days of Our Lives yesterday? Why, yes, Margot, I do. Once again, we join Hope in the search for her identity. As you know, she's been brainwashed by the evil Stefano. I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life. I object. And that's why you should vote for me, Elle Woods, future lawyer for the class of 2004.
All right, so that was a little clip from Legally Blonde, and that's Elle Woods' elevator pitch to get into Harvard. She does a video essay, which is quite unique, but it worked. She gets into Harvard. What did she do? She kept it short and sweet. That was about a minute-long clip. She went over her experiences and gave examples of her being the president of her sorority and things like that. She adapted it for her audience that was specifically targeted for the Harvard admissions board. And she had a really positive tone. She was smiling the whole time and really selling herself. And she set her goals, which was to be a part of the Harvard Law School class. So that's an example of when an elevator pitch really does work. And if you want an example that maybe applies to you because you're not Elle Woods, here's one that maybe someone our age might be using. It says, I recently graduated from college with a degree in communications. I worked on the college newspaper as a reporter and eventually as the editor of the arts section. I'm looking for a job that will put my skills as a journalist to work. So this is a really good example of a real elevator pitch that one of you could have and could write. So make sure and take note of how this one is written and how nice and concise it is and how it gets to the point and sets the goals. And you can maybe have an elevator pitch that's as good as Elle Woods. So now we're going to go ahead and move into writing your own elevator pitch.
So we're going to start by explaining what you're going to be putting in your elevator pitch. So we're going to start by writing down your ideas. So don't worry about the word count for this one. Just write down anything that you feel might be important for an employer to know or what you want somebody to know about you. So mine is a little lengthy, but again, we're going to go through and clean it up a little bit. So what I started out with is, I'm Zakara Durgans. I am currently a communication studies major at Ball State University. I am a senior, so I will be graduating this spring with my bachelor's degree. Next year, I will be continuing my studies by pursuing a master's degree in CICS, otherwise known as Communication and Informational Sciences, here at Ball State as well. In the future, I would like to use my degree to go into the marketing or public relations field because I love talking and being in front of people, showcasing things I have interest in. I have been around a lot of people in these fields, and they have strongly influenced my career goals, and that is why I feel this is the best area for me. Marketing is an ever-growing field as well as public relations, so the opportunities for me in the future are endless. So next, when we come to the elevator pitch, it is very important to get to the point. We're going to get rid of unnecessary details. So when I was speaking, I kind of had a lot of choppy sentences where I put, I am currently a Ball State student. I could have put, I am currently a senior Ball State student, to concise those sentences and make it just one instead of making it two different sentences, which in turn makes your elevator pitch shorter, of course. So you need to shorten and connect those sentences that you just previously wrote. So here's actually a template you can use. So it says, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I am whatever year you are in school, at what school you're from. What you're studying, of course, is very important. I am interested in pursuing work in the whatever field and have done so-and-so activities. I have developed these skills by participating in an internship, working a job. So this is where you can talk about your work experience, your personal experience, or even your educational experiences. So then this is my final product after I cut out all the unnecessary things, or just things I feel like were a little bit too repetitive or probably just weren't things they really wanted to hear. So my finalized elevator pitch is, hello, my name is Zakara Durgans. I'm a current senior communication studies major with a concentration in organizational communications at Ball State University. Next year, I do plan to further my education by getting my master's degree in CICS, which also is known as Communication and Informational Sciences, in order to pursue a career in marketing or public relations. With my work, educational, and personal experiences, I believe this field would be a great fit for me because it is one that I've always been extremely interested in, and it fits a lot of my skill set. So with my elevator pitch, I was kind of able to hit all those areas that employers are looking for. All right, so in conclusion, we learned that elevator pitches are useful in your professional life and your career search. You need to make sure that you keep them goal-oriented, concise, and meaningful. Make sure you are smiling in your elevator pitch. Make sure that you are putting your personality in it, because a lot of people are going to hire you based off of your personality and if you're going to fit well with their company. And then, of course, use what you've learned today in the pitch that you wrote and practice a lot so you can get that job, promote yourself, and achieve your goals. Because all in all, those employers just want to know what you're about. So just make sure that you are practicing your elevator pitch and using what we taught you today, those templates as well, to make sure that you have the perfect elevator pitch for the next time you are asked, tell me about yourself. Thank you.